So in the previous video, we have discussed about the ROM as well as the different types of ROM which is available in the market. So depending upon the type of an embedded system, you can choose any of the type of an memory. So now we will be discussing about the RAM. So RAM is a data memory or a working memory of controller or a processor. So controller or a processor can read from it and write into it. So here you have both the options. Either you can read it or you can write it. So that is why it is called read-write memory or random access memory. A RAM is a volatile. When the power is turned off, all the contents are destroyed. So just now in the previous video, we have discussed about a NVRAM, right? That is a non-volatile memory. So this RAM is just the contrast of that. So RAM is volatile, means whatever the contents that is there in the memory, all the contents will be destroyed once the power is turned off. So that's why in order to provide the power, we are using the minute battery in the case of non-volatile RAM, right? So RAM is a direct access memory. We can access the desired memory location directly without the need for traversing the entire memory location to reach the desired memory positions. So what is the meaning of this particular statement is, so if you want to access a particular location in the whole memory, then there is no need to start from the beginning. You can exactly go to that location and you can access it. So that is the meaning of this statement. So this is in contrast to the sequential access memory, that is SAM, where the desired memory location is accessed by either traversing through the entire memory or through a seek method. So magnetic tapes, CD-ROMs are the best examples of sequential access memories. So again, we'll be discussing about the types of RAM, that is SRAM, DRAM, and NVRAM. So NVRAM we have already discussed. So SRAM, DRAM is very, very important. In almost all the exams they have asked, write a short note on SRAM and DRAM. Right. So SRAM is called as a static RAM, and obviously DRAM will be what? The just opposite of this, that is dynamic. Static opposite was dynamic, right? So SRAM and DRAM, will be discussing these two memories in detail. So the static RAM stores the data in the form of voltage. So here we are storing the information in the form of what? Voltage, and it is made from flip-flops. So we all know that what is meant by flip-flops and all. In the previous ADE subject only, we have discussed about the flip-flops, latches and all. So this is made up of what? Flip-flops. So static RAM is the fastest form of a RAM available in the market. So fast due to its resistive networking and the switching capabilities. And this SRAM is realized using the 6 transistors or 6 MOSFETs. So SRAM can be realized by making use of 6 MOSFETs, that is metal oxide semiconductor field effective transistors. So the SRAM can be designed by making use of how many MOSFETs? 6 MOSFETs. For 4 of the transistors are used for building up the latch part of the memory cell, and 2 for controlling the access. So among the 6 MOSFETs, 4 is used for building up the latch and 2 are used for controlling purpose. So this is the exact diagram or the implementation of the SRAM. So if you just observe here, all these are the FETs, okay, field effective transistors, and we have already discussed. So field effective transistors will be having the 3 terminals, gate, drain, as well as source. Right, the in between there is an arrow mark, right? So this is nothing but so this particular point is nothing but the gate terminal, okay, and another one is a drain and source. So here, as I've already told you, so the 4 among 6, 4 FETs are used for building up the latch. So this whole part is used for building up the flip-flop, and the rest, that is the Q5 and Q6 transistors, are used for control purpose. Okay, I repeat once again. So SRAM is realized by making use of a 6 FETs. Among 6 FETs, the 4 FETs are used for designing the flip-flops, and the rest 2 is used for controlling purpose. Okay. The same thing is rewritten in this form, or you can visualize in this format. See here, the first this transistor and this transistor are used for control purpose, and the 4 transistors with whatever I have shown, right, that I can also write it in the form of flip-flop, which is also called as what? Bistable element. So this bistable element also we have understood in the ADE subject itself. So this implementation in its a simpler form can be visualized as a 2 crisscrossed inverters. So what is the usage of this inverters? Whenever you are connecting the inverters back to back, what happens? So one, if I'm writing, just I'll show you here. If I'm writing 1 here, you will be getting 0. And if the same 0 is passed to this inverter, you will be getting 1. So right now you will be able to store a particular information in the this crisscrossed cross coupled inverters. And again, these two transistors are used for controlling purpose, and the gate of this transistor is used for write control, and the gate of this transistor is used for read control. Okay. So the access to the memory cell is controlled by the word line, which controls the access transistor, that is Q5 and Q6. The access transistor controls the connection to the bit lines B and B bar. So what they are telling in this particular point is the access to the memory cell is controlled by what? Word line. See here, the access to this memory cell is controlled by the word line. If you just observe here, this is the word line. Okay, the word line is being connected to what? The gate of Q5 as well as Q6. So if you want to activate Q5 and Q6 transistor, then you should give some voltage to the word line. Then only this Q5 and Q6 will be active. Okay, that is what they are telling in the first point. Coming to the second point, in order to write a value to the memory cell, apply the desired value to the bit controls. For writing 1, make B is equals to 1 and B bar is equals to 0. For writing 0, make B is equals to 0 and B bar is equals to 1. So what they are trying to tell us, if you want to write it, then make B bar is equals to, see here, if you want to write 1, make B is equals to 1 and B bar is equals to, obviously it will be 0. So B is equals to 1 and B bar will be 0. So therefore you are performing the write operation. If you want to perform a read operation, it is just vice versa. You have to put B is equals to 0 and B bar is equals to 1, and you need to give the word line, you need to supply some voltage to the word line in order to activate Q5 as well as Q6. For reading the content of a memory cell, assert both B and bit lines to 1 and set the word line to 1. So this is for reading purpose. So the major limitation of SRAM are low capacity and high cost. So this is the concept of SRAM. Since this is very important concept, I just repeat once again. So this SRAM is one of the type of RAM which is designed by making use of a 6 FETs or MOSFETs, and the 4 transistors among 6 are used for building up the latch, and the next 2 FETs are used for controlling purpose. So if you want to write the information into this memory cell, put B is equals to 1 and B bar is equals to 0. Or if you want to write read means, you put B is equals to 0 and B bar is equals to 1. And of course, in both the cases, the word line should be given with some voltage in order to activate the Q5 as well as Q6. So in the next video, we'll be discussing about dynamic RAM.